Hey girl, it is June 8th, Sunday, June 8th, and this is episode 3. I am so excited for this episode. Last night I was tossing and turning, just hoping that I had done enough research, that I'm prepared, because, not only do I want to provide myself with the best knowledge to help me step into the best version of myself through my 40s, but I want to make sure that I'm giving you guys the best information and knowledge as well. And so, yeah, I was tossing and turning all night, like, tried my best to go to sleep. It was not happening, but it's 6 something in the morning now. I'm here and I'm ready to share what I've learned. Okay. So before we get into that though, I have my tea here. I hope you are relaxed and have your little beverage as well, your beverage of choice. And let's just take a second to reflect on last week. So I hope that you had a good week. But if you didn't, because honestly, let's just have like a quick confession session, okay? And let's talk about how your girl over here, I had two situations where I felt like wasn't really reflective of my higher self. And no, we don't have to go into detail about what happened with those because I don't want to really give it any more energy, unnecessary energy that it doesn't need. So, no details, but just know that I could have done better. Honestly, I just feel like I'm giving myself grace and patience because stepping into the higher version of yourself doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. And so, I say all that to say if your week last week didn't look like how you had planned for it to look, it's fine. We are getting through it. It's Sunday, it's a new week. You are here. We are moving forward. Be patient with yourself. Give yourself grace and maybe pull pieces of something that you could have learned from last week and take that with you and leave behind any emotions from it. Easier said than done, but just do your best. I got you, girl. I'm here. Okay. I'm here. So, with that being said, this is 40 something and nothing, and I am Elisha Maria. Welcome. Come in, come in, come in, come in. Sit down, relax. Okay. Kick up your feet, and let's just dive into this episode. So, I don't know about you guys, but for myself, I find that no matter what I'm going through in my personal life, it is so easy for me to still come to work and outperform. I can come and get everything completed, not even thinking about the sadness that I may be experiencing, the depression that I may or may not be going through, nor the financial stressors that I may or may not be having. I can switch completely off and fully focus on work and really do the damn thing. Like, I be out here, I be in this office outperforming, okay? I be doing it. And I don't know if your mind works the same way, but I really do hope that you find what we're about to discuss helpful because I will be incorporating this into my higher self journey starting now. So basically, what it is, I am retraining my brain to think of myself as a company, as a business, as a brand. Now, don't skip, don't click out, stay with me, okay? Just stay with me because I think once I get to the end, it'll all make sense. It'll come together. But basically, I just feel like if I can come to work and switch off how I'm feeling and get my work done, then I should be able to do the same for myself when it's time to work on me. But sadly, that is not the case for me. It is somehow very easy for me to show up and get my reports done, manage my portfolio. I'm a senior portfolio manager, by the way. Yes, check my credentials, babe. Okay. But it's easy for me to assist my team members, my coworkers, manage my staff that I have to oversee. And I do all of that with ease. Never, and I mean never, ever allowing my personal issues to affect my performance. However, The same does not happen in my personal life. I am easily distracted by how I'm feeling and will make excuses for why I'm not able to work on myself. I'm too sad. I'm too tired. I'm too depressed to take a shower. Yes, sometimes it's hard for your girl to even take a shower. We are being raw and honest here. I get up and I do it. I'm not walking around stinking, but sometimes it's rough. I'm not going to lie. I really have to push myself some mornings. But somehow I can turn all of that off and show up for work, and not just work, for anything else or anyone else other than myself. So I'm going to do my best to train my brain to change that narrative, because the brain, while it may be the massive muscle that we have, the biggest muscle that we have in our body, it can only fuel off of what you feed it. So if I'm telling myself that I am too depressed to go to the gym, I'm too sad to take a shower, I'm too tired to get up and brush my teeth. If I'm telling myself that, then that's what my brain is going to believe and receive. And if I retrain my brain has no other option but to follow along with the new training. So it's not enough just to say it, though. We have to apply it into practice. And that's what we are going to talk about now. So let's dive into this. If you think about the current company that you're working at or a previous company that you were with, all good companies, they all start with a good mission statement, or at least a set of core values and principles. Every company has it. And when they have an employee that maybe does not align with the core values and principles that are set by that company, it's usually a what? A written warning, or a verbal, I should say, probably first, a verbal warning, a written warning, and possible termination. Well, I'm going to be applying those same principles. So where do we start? We start with knowing what our core values and our mission statement is. Why is your company here? Why are you here? What is your purpose on this planet? What are you here for? Now, that's going to take a lot for some to really think about and zone in on. And I will tell you what mine are as an example for you. But of course, yours are going to look really different because it's based on you, not me. But here are mine. I have 5 core principles, right? And you know what? Before I get into mine, though, let me give you a few ideas of some of the top companies that have these mission statements, these core values that we all know and possibly use. Okay. The first one is Apple. Apple is massive in the technology field. We all know this. And they have their own set of core values that they rarely ever deviate from. Okay. Apple's core values is to create technology that empowers people and enriches their lives, with their core principles being creating technology, empowering people, enriching lives, and educational support. And Apple really strives to stay on target with that. They did that with Steve Jobs, may he rest in peace. They're doing it now and continue to be at the forefront of technology, because rarely do they deviate from their core principles and values. I don't think they ever deviate from it. And so I'm going to apply that same principle to myself. Here are my core values: my relationship with God, quality time to myself, a focus on my beauty, my health, and my mental health, time with my daughters and my husband, and financial freedom. That's my principles. Well, those are my principles. That's my mission. That's why I'm here on planet Earth. I am here on this planet to build and continue to have a relationship with God, to have quality time to myself, to focus on my beauty, my health, and my mental health, to make sure that I'm having quality time with my daughters and my husband, and financial freedom. Now, just as a company would let go of an employee that's not I should say, aligning with their core values and principles, I'm going to do the same in my life. I'm getting rid of any negative nouns. And I'm saying nouns because this whole podcasting thing is new to me, so my pronunciation may be a little off, but I am saying nouns as in NOUN. Okay. I am getting rid of the negative nouns in my life. Those are people, places, and things that no longer serve purpose or align with my company mission, with my core values. It's one of the reasons why I stopped drinking alcohol and why I'm so excited about my sobriety journey. Has it been tough? A little bit, but it's what needed to be done because if you think about alcohol, flat out, does it help me with my relationship with God? No, it doesn't. Does it help me to have quality time to myself? No, it does not. Does it help me with my beauty, my health, and my mental? Absolutely not. Alcohol does the exact opposite to your beauty. Okay, it strips it. Does it help me with time with my daughters and my husband? No, it doesn't. And does it help me with my financial freedom? Nope, not at all. So it's terminated. Terminated. And I'm doing that with people, places, and things. It has to align with my core values. And if it doesn't, I am not giving it any energy or allowing it to stick around in my life because it's not aligning. It's not a part of my mission. It's not a part of my core principles. Now, I'm not going to keep repeating myself. We're going to move forward. But I want you to really take the time and think about what your core values are. Why are you here? Speaking of the why, I was listening to this TED Talk, and this was many years ago, a long time ago. And it was this speaker who was saying that he goes around to different companies and helps them create and draft their core values and their mission. And he had done a conference with Apple, and he had also done a conference with Samsung. And what he said was, I'm pretty sure you can find it. It's on YouTube. I watched it many years ago, but if you maybe just do TED Talk and then conference, Apple conference, Samsung, maybe he'll pop up. I don't remember his name, but he had mentioned that in the conference for Apple, they were trying to draft their core values to come up with why they are doing what they're doing. Steve Jobs was alive at the time. He was present at this presentation and really wanted to get assistance with coming up with the why. Why are we doing what we do? Why is Apple here? The difference between Apple and Samsung, he said, is when he went to the Samsung's conference, it was more focused on what. What is everyone else doing? What do we need to do to be at the forefront of technology? And he tried his best to explain that it is not the what, it is the why. And when you develop your core principles, that is your why. That's why you're here. That's why you exist. That is the why you are doing what you do every day, right? And so I really wouldn't be me if I deviated from my core principles. My relationship with God means everything to me. My quality time to myself means everything to me. My beauty, my health, and my mental, that means everything to me, especially my quality time with my daughters and my husband and my financial freedom. That is Elisha all in one. That is me. And so I have allowed over the past 44 years of my life, I have allowed people, places, and things to come into my space that never really aligned with my core values. And why did I allow that? Because I didn't know what they were. I didn't identify my core values. I didn't even know they existed. So, of course, I had people in my life that shouldn't have been there, things in my life that definitely shouldn't have been there, and even places that I used to frequently go to that I shouldn't have been in attendance with because I had not identified me. Who am I? What is important to me to my core? These are my core principles now. I've identified them and I'm eliminating and really sticking to it, getting rid of people, places, and things that no longer align with this. There's literally a verbal warning. I'm going to tell you once. I'm going to tell you once, girl. Like, I'm going to sit down and talk to that person. And even when you talk to someone, oh, okay. Not to go off sidetrack. I'm trying my best to stick to my notes, but I got to drop some gems sometimes. When you are having to sit down and speak with someone, because I try to give people a couple of chances. So we're going to do the verbal warning first. You're doing this method that gets them on board with the conversation. And it goes a little something like this. I want to talk to you. Let's just say it's a person who, a man in your life, right? That's not really showing up for you as he should. You're going to say, I want to talk to you about the fact that you have failed to show up for me in my life. And when I'm done with this is what we're saying, girl. Okay. Make note of this. I want to talk to you about some of the things that I feel like you're not showing up for me in terms of what I need in a relationship in my life. And when I'm done with this conversation, I'm hoping that we can move forward and not let this happen again. Are you on board with this conversation? Do you understand? Let them say yes, let them agree to it. And that's my verbal. Then your written warning, that could be a text message, that could be anything. And then if it still persists, then you're terminated. Sorry, because you're not aligning with my core. Or you could just eliminate them from the beginning, because that's what I had to do with the alcohol. I was just like, listen, you are not aligning with my core values. It is time for you to go. And I am so proud of myself that the last time I had any type of alcohol in my system was the end of February. And we are now in June. So proud of myself. But yes, we are sticking to our core values and our principles, but you have to identify them first, because if you don't know what they are, then you're bound to fail. A good mission statement clearly states why you exist and what you want to achieve. So I gave you mine, right? And this is why I exist. And the last one, my financial freedom, is what I want to achieve, right? Business purpose, mission, and core values are so rarely given thought that perhaps that is the important cause of a business to have frustrations and failures. I read that quote just the other day. Let me repeat it again. The mission statement and core values are rarely given thought and is perhaps the most important cause of a business frustration and failures. If you don't have the reason for why you are doing what you're doing and you have not identified it, you are bound to fail. You have to understand who you are to your core, identify it so that you can start to eliminate anything and anyone in your life that doesn't align with it. I recently read this too. It says your business is more than just a pretty sounding mission statement on your website. It's how your business acts and represents itself. So, again, how you're showing up not only for yourself, but for your family. I have daughters, so I am trying my best to set an example for them to understand what type of woman that I want them to aspire to be and go beyond me. I want them to do better than me altogether, right? And so it starts with knowing yourself, identifying your core values, and really letting go of people, places, and things that don't align with it. I feel like this is a game changer for me because no longer will I allow my brain to tell me you're too depressed to go to the gym. No, I'm not. I have to go because it's work. I have to be there. If I'm not there, then I'm fired. I have to show up. That's a no call, no show. I have to show up because why? How am I firing myself? You understand what I'm saying? How can I terminate myself? You can't. So show up for you. Give yourself the same amount of attention that you give to everything else and everyone else. Give that to you, girl, because we need it. Like, we have to pour back into ourselves and we can't make up excuses for it. I'm too tired to go to work. I'm too tired to put in the job. No, get up and do what you got to do. When things are rough for me and it's difficult for me to get up and do what I need to do, I apply the 5 second rule. No, the five countdown, not second rule. 5 second rule. Everything is a five. But this rule that I'm about to discuss with you is from, she's a podcaster. Her name is Mel Dobbins, and she created the five countdown. So it's literally the same method that they use for rocket ships to just propel the rocket ship out into space. God bless NASA and all that they do over there. But in this case, you're going to count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. When you get to one, it's time to get up and do whatever it is that you are dreading doing, that you are trying to make up excuses to do. And you got to act quickly, because if you don't, then your brain will talk you out of it. So when you get to one, just hop up and go, and done. There is no additional countdowns. There's no snooze button. Just get up and do what you got to do. And I really feel like identifying those key values and those core values, I should say, is going to be the starting point for you to start seeing that shift in your life and making those necessary changes and really sticking with them and getting rid of the negative nouns. I hope everything that I said made sense. I know it might have seemed like I was kind of all over the place, but it's really me trying my best to understand that I have to take care of me. You have to take care of you. And as women, we tend to show up, like I said, for everyone else and then leave ourselves at the back burner. And then by the time you get to the back burner, you don't have any more energy left to put into doing anything. You like just let it be, just leave it there like that. Like, no, girl, we are going to start seeing ourselves as a brand. And as a brand, we have to represent ourselves accordingly, according to what our core principles and values are. So I want you this week to take the time to really write out who you are and why you're here. Why are you on this planet? What is your why? Come up with your core values. And then when you have your core values, sit back, look at them, and really start to identify the nouns, the negative nouns in your life, people, places, and things that are no longer serving purpose because they are not aligning with your core values. Get rid of them, girl. Get rid of the negative nouns. And I know it's easier to say it than to do it. It's never easy. As a supervisor, it is never easy firing someone. That's always been difficult for me to do, but it has to be done. It has to, in order for your business, your company, you as the woman that you are, it has to be done in order for you to step into that higher version of yourself. You have to let go of the negative nouns. So that's the episode for today. That's it. That's all I got. I hope it was helpful in some way. I hope you'll be able to. My goal is to identify, I hope you're able to identify your core values and principles and really start cleaning up some things in your life, getting rid of some things and shedding so that we are, because girl, we are stuck. I had to backtrack what I was about to say, because this I need you to hear. We are stepping into our higher selves. We are doing it together, and we're not making up any excuses. We are showing up for ourselves. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's time to be selfish. Selfish is self care. Let's just be a little bit selfish and focus on us. Well, I love you, girl. And I'm so glad that you are here on this journey with me. And next week, we are going to be diving into, I think I want to talk about, I have so many topics that I want to go over, but I think next week we're going to talk about loneliness. It can get lonely at the top, especially when you start removing the negative nouns from your life and you look around and the only person left is you. It can be a challenge, but I have some tips and tricks on how to get through that. And that's what we're going to be discussing next week. So until then, have a blessed week. Remember that we are doing this together. Remember that I love you. And yeah, I'm excited. If you want to send me or discuss your core values or core principles, or if you need help drafting them, feel free to reach out. Like, I would love to connect. I would love to talk to you. But we're doing this together. So it is what it is. So reach out if you need me. And if not, I will talk to you next week.